Good morning, guys. Happy Tuesday. Is today Tuesday? Yes, happy Tuesday. How is everybody? So, this is going to be a quick but powerful word. This prophetic word is from a dream that the Lord gave me on September the 6th. Today is September 24th. So, it's been quite a few weeks. And when he first gave me the dream, I remember waking up. I began to study the dream. I was letting him download what he was trying to say from the dream, because if you know, you know, God speaks to me in dreams majority of the time. I also get visions and so forth. He speaks to me in a number of ways, but primarily in prophetic dreams. And almost every one of my prophetic dreams is a parable. And I'm glad that the Lord gives me parable dreams, and he has from the beginning of me walking into my prophetic calling. Um, and he's taught me so much with the types of dreams that he gives me. Like, none of my dreams, I can't say none, but rarely do I have straightforward, to the point prophetic dreams. They're usually always parables, and it requires me to sit with him and allow him to break down what he's trying to say to me. So this dream I had on September 6th was no different. I woke up, I allowed him to speak to me about what that dream was about. And then over the course of the next few days and the next few weeks or couple of weeks, I would go back to it and let him give me more information and revelation on it. And when he finally gave me like the final revelation of what this dream meant, I didn't want to release it prematurely to whoever this is for. So what I did was I said a prayer in my heart. So I didn't say it out loud. I prayed the prayer in my heart. It was just between me and God. And I said, Lord, if you want me to release this dream the way that you gave it to me, it's the prophetic message and so forth. I said, allow me to see Steve Urkel on TV or somewhere, and you guys will understand why I told God, or why I asked him to let me see Steve Urkel. But I said, let me see Steve Urkel on a TV or something, right? If you know, you know. Steve Urkel is from a very old show that I used to love in like elementary and middle school called Family Matters. It's an old TV sitcom. And I said, let me see it somewhere. Let me see Steve somewhere. I said on TV, on YouTube, on Facebook, just let me see Steve so that I know that you're telling me yes to release this word, and you're giving me the go, and that I have all my ducks in a row from what you've told me about this word, right? I prayed this prayer in my heart 2 weeks ago, right? And I haven't seen anything until this morning. I was laying in bed and I closed my eyes and I had a vision. And in the vision, it's like I was looking at Facebook, and I was looking at a sister in Christ, the sister in Christ that I used to coach, actually. Her name is Marcia. I was looking at her Facebook page and I was just scrolling on her Facebook. This is a vision, guys. And as I'm scrolling on her Facebook, I see a post that she put up, and it says, don't be afraid to fight demons. And it was like a picture of her like fighting demons, right? She said, don't be afraid to fight demons. And then I kept scrolling on her Facebook, and she had posted a video or a picture of an episode of Family Matters. And it was Laura and Steve Urkel walking through the kitchen door, and it's Laura was dressed in a blue dress. Actually, the color, I just realized, actually the color blue she was dressed in is exactly the color blue of this head wrap and this top. Okay, so she had on a blue dress, she was dressed up, and Steve Urkel was dressed up in the vision, and it said homecoming at the bottom of it. And I knew in the vision that they were getting ready to go to homecoming together. And that was the end of the vision. So when I opened my eyes, I was like, Lord, I couldn't do anything but laugh inside, because I'm like, I literally asked him like 2 weeks ago to show me, like, so that I knew to release the word. And God, of course, does not do anything on our timing. Everything is on his timing. So when I saw that this morning, the first thing I did was wake up and I looked on YouTube for the episode of them going to homecoming and them being dressed up, right? That was the first thing I did because I wanted to see if it was an actual episode or if God was just showing me, as confirmation. And of course, the word homecoming, which is very significant in this word. So I'm looking on YouTube. I'm like, let me find, because you can search anything on YouTube University, okay? So I'm looking and I found the episode, and Laura had on the exact color dress of my head wrap in this top in the episode, and she was crowned homecoming queen. And I need y'all to hear this spiritually, okay? Because I don't got time to be sitting here breaking down stuff. Hear this spiritually. In the episode, she was crowned homecoming queen. So she was crowned queen, okay? And she had on the dress the same color. And it was an episode where Steve Urkel really wanted to go with Laura to prom, but he knew she really wanted to go with this other guy to prom. But Laura had turned down everybody that asked her to prom because she wanted this one guy to ask her, right? And he didn't, because he knew she had turned down all of these guys to prom. So Steve approached the guy, and Steve was like, I really like Laura, I really want to go with her to prom and so forth, but she has her eyes on you. So if you ask her, she'll go with you. And turns out this guy really wanted to go to prom with Laura. And he ends up asking Laura to, not prom, homecoming. He ends up asking Laura to homecoming. She says yes. And they're dancing at homecoming. And the guy begins to express to her how grateful he is for Steve for talking him into asking her. And she was like, Steve, what does he have to do with it? And he's like, yeah, he approached me and he told me that if I asked you, you would go with me. So that gave me the courage to ask you or whatever. And Laura was so taken aback by the sweetness of Steve and how much he cared about her, to the point where she's crowned homecoming queen, and she gets to choose, it's early, guys. She gets to choose who she dances with for her homecoming dance. And she whispers in her date's ear, letting him know that she was going to ask Steve to dance because of what he had done for her. And she ends up choosing Steve to dance with for her homecoming dance, right? For the first dance. And that was pretty much the end of the episode. But if you caught it, you caught it, okay? The word homecoming, if you look up the definition, it's an instant returning home, an instant returning home, or an instance of returning home. Instance, quick, okay? So that is the definition of homecoming. But homecoming in schools, like the homecoming dance, is referred to as the homecoming dance. And I want y'all to catch this spiritually, because it's open to the former students, the former previous past students who went to that school. It gives them a chance to come back to that school and celebrate after a major event. Normally it's after a football game or something, but it gives the former students, catch this, a chance to come back home to their high school that they graduated from and celebrate with the current students. Okay, so that's why it is referred to as homecoming, because the previous students, the alumni, the former students, return home to the place that they spent significant time at and graduated from, and they get a chance to celebrate with the current students. I need y'all to catch all of that spiritually, because I don't have that much time. Okay. So the Lord had me looking into all of this for this word. Okay. And I'm going to put you guys on hold for one quick second. I'll be right back. Sorry, guys. I had to pause you to do something. I hope I'm picking up where I left off, but God is saying that there's a homecoming happening, a homecoming. Again, if you look up the definition of homecoming, it literally says an instance of returning home, an instance of returning home. And then underneath that, and you can look it up in the Oxford, underneath that, it mentions a homecoming dance at a school and so forth, which is what the Lord showed me in this vision this morning. Okay. So the Lord is saying that there's a homecoming taking place, former things returning home. Catch this, former things returning home. And again, a homecoming at a school is called homecoming because it allows the alumni, aka the former students, to return to the place that they spent significant years before going on and about in life. Okay, it allows them to return to that school, to that place, home. Okay, home. So the Lord is saying the former things are returning home. There's a homecoming taking place. But also, remember in this vision, as I'm looking at Marcia's Facebook page, the first post I saw was "Don't be afraid to fight demons." And then I saw the post with Laura and Steve. Okay. The Lord had to allow you to go through this standing in the gap for this person or this thing. Okay. He had to allow you to go through this because it taught you how to fight spiritually. Okay. When God allows us to go through something major, it's to teach us something. And normally, out of what he's teaching us, we gain a stronger level of faith. He teaches us to persevere. He strengthens our spirituality, right? He strengthens us spiritually. So we know how to war. When he has us stand in the gap for something to return, 9 times out of 10, when we're done and that thing is over, that era, that season of our life is over, we've learned how to fight spiritually. We've learned how to fight against the darkness and principalities in high places. We learn how to fight against the arrows that Satan throws our way. When God has you stand for something, one thing you're going to come out knowing is how to fight spiritually. Okay. So again, the Lord is saying he had to allow you to go through this. Okay. Because it was to teach you something. He strengthened you spiritually. He taught you how to fight spiritually. He taught you how to fight against the enemy because he's ultimately already given us the power to trample on serpents. His word tells us that he's given us the power to trample over anything that Satan tries to throw our way. We've already won, but he teaches us how to fight, to pray, to fast, to like he teaches us all the things to speak his word, right? We don't fake it until we make it. We speak it until we see it. Okay, so he teaches us throughout these seasons or eras of standing. When whatever he has you standing for, whatever promises he's had you standing for, he's taught you how to fight throughout this process. He teaches us how to fight, how to stand in faith, how to persevere. It's always him teaching us something throughout the things that he has us doing. Nothing God has us do is in vain and pointless. It's always going to teach us something. Okay, but there's a homecoming taking place. The former things, the former people returning to that original place. Now on to the dream. This dream God gave me on September the 6th, and I was sitting on like a bench, and I was sitting on the bench with Jaleel White. Jaleel White is the person who plays Steve Urkel in Family Matters. Okay. And if you're super, super young, you probably don't know what I'm talking about, and that's okay. You can look it up. YouTube University, Google University, use your tools. But I was sitting on a bench having an intimate moment with Jaleel White. Again, Jaleel White is the person who plays Steve Urkel in Family Matters. Okay. Jaleel White is his real name. It's not Steve Urkel. Okay. He just plays Steve Urkel in Family Matters. So we're having an intimate moment together, sitting on this bench, right? And this girl or these girls, it was probably more than one, but I remember one in particular passing by us in a car. And she was really jealous and angry that I was getting to experience this moment with Jaleel in the dream. She was really angry, jealous, envious. And I remember her kind of mocking me and laughing and just like, she was just super jealous. And I could also sense that she was evil, right? But she was really angry that I was with Jaleel White and that we were having this moment together. And that was the end of the dream. When I woke up from this dream, God began to download what this dream meant. And what he was saying is that whatever he's bringing back, whoever he's bringing back to you, okay, you're, help me, Lord, it's too early. You're getting ready to experience the real them, not the person that they portray to the world. Hence, Steve Urkel is who Jaleel White acts as. It's an act. That's not who he really is, okay? So Steve Urkel, the person that the world is used to seeing Jaleel White act as, is who they know him as when it comes to like acting, right? If you show anybody a picture of Jaleel White, they'll be like, oh, that's Steve Urkel, right? People are used to seeing Jaleel as Steve Urkel, but Steve Urkel is simply a character that Jaleel White acts as. He's an actor, okay? So he acts as that person, but that's not the real him. In the dream, I was having an intimate moment with Jaleel White. God is saying the person he's sending back to you, you're getting ready to experience the real them, not the person that they act as, not the person that the world sees, right? But you're getting ready. You're going to have an encounter with this person that's going to be you experiencing the real them. The them who God designed them to be, the them that God created them to be, the real them. And when God was downloading this dream to me, the interpretation, it brought me back to something my ex-husband said to me. This was maybe 3 years ago. I remember him telling me, and this, I always say that this is the most honest thing he's ever said out of his mouth. He said, everybody else knows my representative. You know the real me. He said, you got to experience me on so many different levels, but everybody else, by faces itching Holy Spirit, he said, everybody else knows my representative. They know who I portray myself to be, but you know the real me. And I'll never forget him saying that to me, because after he said it, I literally thought to myself, this is the most honest thing he's ever said to me. This is the most honest thing he's ever admitted to me. Let me put it like that. It's the most honest thing he had ever admitted to me. He said, everybody else knows my representative. You know the real me. He said, you got a chance to see the me that nobody else even knows about. And God brought that back to me when God was downloading the interpretation of this dream to me. Whoever this is for, the Lord is saying, you're getting ready to experience the real them, the person that God created, the person that walks in the way that God created them to walk. You're getting ready to see the person that God birthed them as, not the person that they act as in front of other people, not the show that they put on in front of other people. You're going to experience a level of intimacy with this person, and it's going to be you experiencing the real them, not an actor, not an actress, not them putting on a show for ratings, not them trying to appeal to an audience, but the real them. And in the midst of people seeing you experience the real them, it's going to bring about a lot of jealousy and hatred towards your way. And that's okay. God is doing a new thing, and you're included in this new thing. So people are going to see them as their true, authentic selves, and they're not going to understand it because they're so used to seeing them as an actor or as an actress. Okay, they're so used to seeing them put on this show, so they already have these bullet points of who this person is, right? What they know about this person. Many of them may throw out, oh, they're never going to change. They've always been like that. That's the person that they've seen their whole lives. But the person that God is bringing back to you is going to be their authentic selves, not their representative, their true selves. And God is very strategic, because when he first gave me this dream, he had me look up Jaleel White. Now, I used to watch Family Matters all the time, but I don't follow Jaleel White. I don't keep up with what's going on with him. But when God had me study this dream, he had me look up information about Jaleel White. And when I tell you God is strategic, catch this. Jaleel White got married this year. He was married previously, and he had a child in his previous marriage, and that didn't work out, right? So years later, this is his second marriage. Y'all better catch this. This is his second marriage, right? And he got married this year. The date that he got married was May 4th of 2024. My birthday is May 4th of 2024. So God was very strategic when giving me this dream, and he wanted to make sure that I knew that I knew that I knew. And if you're catching it, you're catching it. Jaleel White and his wife were married May 4th, my birthday of 2024. They met during COVID, right? She's a Caucasian lady. Jaleel White is, of course, Black. Okay. So already there's a bit of a difference. Okay. There's a bit of a difference. People that know Jaleel White, he's very well known. He's an actor. His wife, Nicoletta, she's not well known. She has a good job. She works in the sports technology industry or whatever. She graduated from Yale or Harvard. So she's very successful, but she's not well known. She's not an actress. She's not in the entertainment industry on Jaleel's capacity. So when people look at their relationship from the outside looking in, they're going to, many people I'm sure have wondered, why is he with her? Who is she? And he even dated outside of his ethnicity. He's dating a Caucasian. So to people looking on the outside, this does not make sense. And I pray y'all are catching this spiritually. This coming together, this union does not make sense. Many people may look at Jaleel White and say, oh, he's too good looking for her. Like, why is he with her? That same type of response, many of you are going to get from other people when God brings this homecoming home, when he brings this thing together. Just like in the dream, as I'm having this moment of intimacy with Jaleel White, I had these women mocking me and like they were really being cruel. I can't remember what they were saying, but I knew that they were looking at me like, what is he doing with her? Like, what is this? Like, why are they together? And it's similar to how people would look at this relationship with Jaleel White and his current wife, because again, she's not very well known. She's also not some beauty queen that people would see as, on his level. This is totally outside of what people would think would play out in Jaleel White's life. But that was his choice. He chose this woman. They met during COVID. They kept their relationship a secret until almost up to the time where it was time for them to get married. Their ceremony was really small, 175 people, I believe, very small for someone in the entertainment industry. And they kept it under wraps as they got to know each other. But that is who Jaleel White chose. So it doesn't matter that people don't understand it. It doesn't matter that people aren't going to understand why this person chose you or why you're getting the real version of who this person is. But when God does a thing, it doesn't make sense to other people. A lot of the times, it does not make sense to other people. A lot of the times, people are looking at this as an impossible thing that's right in front of their face. And God is the God of impossible. They don't understand. Because who the world thinks should be together is not who God thinks should be together. Your story was written, my story was written way before I was even born. So God brings impossible things together. Things that will have people looking at each other like, how did this happen? God. So he's saying you're not getting the person that other people got. You're not getting the person that put on a show in front of others. You're not getting their representative. You're getting the real them. And there is a homecoming taking place. But God had to take you through this so that you could learn how to fight, so that he can strengthen you in certain areas. This walk is not easy. Picking up your cross is heavy, and God uses whatever he chooses to use during your journey. But he's saying you're not getting their representative. You're not getting the person that they put on a show as. You're getting the real them. This level of intimacy is a connection. It's not just chemistry. And we talked about this. A chemistry is a chemistry. Help. It's way too early. Chemistry is external. Intimacy and a connection is internal. This is not just external. Yeah, you'll be attracted to this person and you'll have chemistry with them, but this is way deeper than what meets the eye. Connection is internal. This person's soul is attractive to you. Their mind, their will, their emotions, their heart is attractive to you, not just the outer appearance. And you're getting to see the real them. It's a homecoming. Take this how you see fit. Please don't put your whole life in the comment section. Take this word to God. Don't email me asking me if this is for you, how this pertains to you. Take those questions to God because I will not answer those emails. I am not your God. I'm no one's God. I'm simply a prophetic voice in a vessel that's releasing words that God gives me. And for those of you that still idolize God bringing unions together, this is not for you. You're not quite there yet. But for those of you that this is for, you'll know that this is for you. So I just wanted to get on here and be obedient and release this word. I was looking at my notes to make sure I didn't miss anything. But yeah, the Lord is saying that there's a homecoming and you're not getting the person that they put on a show as, the person that represented them. You're getting to see the real them. And this intimacy is deeper than what meets the eye. And it will bring on jealousy from outsiders, and that's okay. Who God brings together, let no man separate. So I love you guys. I hope you have a great Tuesday, and we'll talk soon. Bye, guys.